All right, and then we're getting ready to go live here. And I've got Matt here. And let me pull him on in. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, buddy? Not
Oh,
much, not much. Getting ready for all the Christmas crap, you know?
oh yeah. Yeah. We're going crazy here at 44 Tackle. It's been quite a busy week. It's been our best year yet for the holidays. Our online sales are booming and our
Oh,
in-store sales are we've seen a bunch of people through the door this last couple weeks, just Christmas shopping, a lot of gift cards. Everybody's been purchasing a lot of gift cards this year, so a lot of people are going to
nice.
get some great presents.
Yeah, what better than to get some fishing tackle for Christmas, right?
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
beats the hell out of socks.
You never know when you do them socks, but yeah, they no, we've got some really good things from Berkeley. We've got some things from Z-Man. We've got some stuff from we got a huge selection of rods back in just in time for the holidays, so that worked out really good. We got those carbon, uh, the ugly stick carbons. Was it the combos?
Yep,
And we just got a bunch of ugly stick elites in
nice.
and stuff like that. So that was really good. And we got a surprise package of flatworms in. Um, Anybody who was looking at 44tackle.com in the last few weeks did get in on some of that, but we've got plenty left. So don't worry about that. But if you're tuning in right now, you're getting a little heads up that we do have flatworms in some of the more prominent colors. And check next week, we may have a little bit more too. But yeah, loading in. It's been a great year. You had an exciting year. It looks
Yeah,
like first year on the Elite Series. It's been great having you on board on the 44 Tackle Pro team.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Uh,
it was a fun year, you know. Um, had some ups and downs, little bumps along the road, but um, pretty successful year, I think.
I think I remember we met up with you at Palaca for the first day, and that there's nothing more nerve wracking than a fog delay on the first day of your professional career on the Elite Series to run into, you know, you already have a game plan in mind, and then you're offset 3 or 4 hours to only fish for 4 hours or something like that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, like Seth actually saved my ass that day. Like sometimes I can be a window licker, and I got to tell you, we were sitting there bullshitting. He's like, "Now, whenever you go out here, hang a hard right." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "I'm going left, dude." Like, um, I can't remember that damn reservoir I was locking up into, but
Rodman.
yeah, Rodman. I was going
Yep.
to Rodman. He's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to fucking Rodman." He's like, I was like, "I'm going left." He said, "Oh no, dude." He's like, "You need to go right." He's like, "You're going the wrong way." Hell, I was about to go away from where I was supposed to be going, but I'd have figured it out after about 20 or 30 minutes when I saw the daggone motion or something, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it'd have looked a lot different that way than the other way.
oh yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah, about jacked up right out the gate.
So we got a couple people tuning in here. We've got Daryl Wilson. He is asking, I believe he says, how well did Beshers fare through the tornado? I don't know.
Oh, Bashir's.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, Bashir's is all right, but the town Dawson Springs there, it's almost like it's just gone.
mm,
Almost like it's gone.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty bad.
Man, how did you guys end up faring through all of the tornadoes and things like that?
Um, it wasn't too bad. I mean, right there at the house, it wasn't bad, but I gotta say, like a couple mile or two south of me, they got it pretty bad. 30 minutes from me in Mayfield, it kind of came from Mayfield, and it went just south of me a couple miles. You know, like and where it did hit, it just leveled everything.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, but a lot of people's getting help. It sounds like they got all the clothes they need and everything. They're just, you know, it's just going to take a little bit of time, man.
Yeah.
Little place in my home county here, Bremen. Actually, I got an aerial photo of where I used to live. Everything right around it, like literally everything around the house is just, I mean, gone.
Mm,
So it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Then Michael Hunt says, Matt, what was your favorite place to fish on the schedule last year, and where are you looking forward to going most in 2022?
Um, Last year I'd probably have to say Lake Fork. I've never like we go to some cool places, but there's not another lake with so many 4 to 8 pounders in it. Like I've never seen anything like it. It's uh it's almost like a fish story of a lake.
Yeah,
But looking forward to going to South Dakota to Lake Oahe this next year.
that's mainly a smallmouth lake, right?
Yeah, yeah. Made a little trip out there, done a little investigating, and dude, it could be really, really good. Now
Yeah,
I don't know how small it's gonna fish, but like dude, I'm telling you, it may be, it's got the potential to be one of the best places we've ever been.
really,
Like it could be the smallmouth fisheries up north, hands down. Has
really.
that possibility. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's a big
yeah.
statement. The St. Lawrence is a was a pretty good one this year.
I think it could dog beat the St. Lawrence.
Really,
I really do.
goodness.
Yeah, so it's a herring. Think about this. So, I mean, the gobies up north are like on the St. Lawrence, are goby feeders.
Mhm.
Well, Lake Oahe's a herring lake. And, dude, let me tell you, them smallmouth eat big stuff. And, not just eat, you can catch them on whatever. I mean, they're some of the dumbest fish I ever seen, but um, it's a hell of a fishery, dude. It's gonna take some weight to win it. I think. I know a couple guys who went there after that kind of said the fish wouldn't cooperate quite as well, but I still think it'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Elite Series has been there once before?
I don't know what happened there, buddy.
Yeah, it'll black out if you hit a
Yeah,
notification.
I got a call. I think it was a damn telemarketer.
Your car's extended warranty?
Yep. Yep.
But,
I need one of them.
yeah, do you still have you got the Suburban this year, right?
Yep. Yep. I'm
Yeah.
still running the Suburban.
I remember, when we roomed behind you or in front of you, I guess, at, Cherokee, what, you had the F-250 back then?
Yeah, it was a 3/4 ton
Yeah.
blue Chevrolet. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chevy, that's what it was, yep.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was,
That's a trooper of a truck, buddy.
yeah, he got there, the thing was on its last leg, it was missing a mirror, and just got broken into not too long before, and whole deal.
I feel like the zip ties holding the mirror together just made it pop.
Yes, yes. Um, the, yeah, it was an interesting year. You gotta be excited about Cherokee being on the schedule again this year. That was, your o opens win, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. I like Cherokee, it's I like fall fishing a little better, but I think it'll be a good one.
Mhm.
Um I think the smallmouth will be round spawning and yeah, but that style of fishing, I feel like it kind of jives with me. Those Tennessee lakes.
Yeah, the I don't know, I've liked Tennessee so far every time we've gone. It fish is a lot different than Florida. In Florida, it's like you gotta always, you know, you're always chasing grass fish, and you get out of state and you run into being able to really pattern a fish a lot better than down here. Sometimes you'll just find a wad out of nowhere for no reason, and
Yeah.
they're just sometimes stuck to some things that you just don't understand why they're even there.
I think you're about as good to go throw craps as you are to fish a tournament in Florida. I mean, it's a toss up, definitely. It's gambling.
Yeah, yeah, not to mention weather conditions and everything else that come to
Oh
play.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always different, a little bit harder. Let's see, we got Stephen Obester. That is, he said, Merry Christmas, Matt. And
Yeah,
also, he
Merry Christmas,
said,
buddy.
Hey, Matt, have you ever fished Lake Hamilton in Arkansas? I'm heading to the All American and have no idea what to expect.
Never fished it, but if I remember right, and I could be totally wrong here, so I'd check this. I'm pretty sure it's a brush pile lake, if I remember right. You know, like throwing a big worm and stuff in brush piles. I think I remember the FLW tour or something being there and them catching them off brush piles.
All right, Steven, you got an answer there. He said, be prepared for some brush pile fishing up there. And we do that quite a bit down here too, so not too far off. Then Joy James Taylor says, loved meeting you at the trailer park last year. Rooting for the Kentucky boy.
Appreciate it, buddy.
And then let's see here. It says, do you like to fish? Let's see. Joy James Taylor also says, do you like to fish? I think I accidentally hit it there. Do you like to fish Barkley or Kentucky better?
Um, I'm a Kentucky Lake guy, you know. I do slip over to the north end of Barkley every once in a while, but I think Kentucky's got a bigger fish population and the way the lake's built, it's a lot easier to pattern fish. So I usually stay on Kentucky.
Right. So bouncing back to the Elite Series stuff this year, what would you say was your least favorite lake to fish or least favorite on the schedule last year for your first
The St. John's, 100%. And we gotta start there again this year.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, the St. John's. I just I've moved around, plucked around, and I gotta say I never really got on anything.
Mhm.
So not really looking forward to it, but I got like a 50-50 average in Florida, doing good and doing bad. So we're gonna roll the dice on a decent finish there this time.
Yep. Got to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
But so what would you say was your biggest lesson you learned this year? As far as you fished classics before, you fished the classic, before you got to the elites, so you kind of knew what the
Yeah.
field was going to be like. The opens field. Would you say the opens field w- in competition? Would you say it's easier to compete at the elite series level or against 225 boats in the open field?
Um, I gotta say, I think it's harder to compete in the opens field just because of the sheer number of boats. I mean, if you talk, even though the competition, I think you still got the same competition in the opens. You're fishing against, I'd take a crack at beating 90 to 100 guys versus beating 225 every day.
Mhm.
I'm just playing. I play the odds, and yeah, for sure. I'd take the elite field over the open field.
Yeah, it's just from what I've noticed it, you come to some of the state tournaments and stuff like that, and it's a lot easier to place on those than it is,
Yeah,
once you get that super stacked field. Like you'll see a lot more consistent weights across the board, I think, in a smaller field than you will those bigger fields.
absolutely.
But I mean the talent that's coming out of the opens the last couple years is second to none. A lot of after the shakeup, it seems like there's a lot of guys out there that are starting to really
I
show
don't.
up
Yeah,
that
I don't think there's any doubt about which way is the way to go. You
yeah.
know, and you're saying that with everybody. You know, jumping into opens. I mean, it's hard to get in opens.
This year was really tough. There's
Yeah,
guys I know that were on open registration day that didn't have a Bass member or life member that were in the 90s on the waiting list, and their
yeah,
time stamp was at like 10 in the morning, like right after they open. And so
yeah.
there's more people fishing the opens this year than I think that are ever. I'm wondering how many people were fishing all three divisions this year, or versus
I'm not for sure. I hadn't heard.
because last year there was several people that it was only like 50 or 60 people I think last year that fished all three
Yeah,
divisions. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking this year, if it was that tough to get in, there's got to be a lot more guys that are doing that.
You would think there would be. I personally think they ought to probably, I mean, you think it'd be smart to take the guys that are going to fish all nine of them out the gate, you know, like say people sign up, you know, give it some time and then, you know, take the guys who are going to fish all nine and throw them in there and then work from there. But you know, Bass has their way of doing things, and it's been working for them. So it's just pretty wild that the opens filled up that fast. You know.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of those deals right now where you got to wonder, what the fields are going to look like. Are there going to be as many local people as there was before? Because that's always been a big thing with the opens because it is an open series, um, of how many local sticks that there would have been only on one lake here and there. If it starts to turn into something that's a little bit more spread out on the talent base from around the country now, instead of getting 50 locals that are just going to fish that one lake that's their favorite lake.
Yep.
Um, but I know a lot of people on Kissimmee had that heartbreak. Jared Albright's one of them. He's in here in the
Yep.
comments. Good friend of mine. And a few other people I know that were they were really
Yeah.
hoping to make it, and it you got to wonder at some point, are there is there too much interest now that we should look to get to a place where there's a triple A or something like that
Yeah.
for
You
guys
know,
that
I think that's something they're looking at. You know, something like there's enough field there for there to be a, let's call it a triple A,
Mhm.
but the only details I think they have to work out is so they let 13 into the Elite Series from the Opens and one from the Nation. I think they just have to figure out how they would let people into the Elite Series or whatnot out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've talked a little bit about that with some of the guys at Bass, and they kind of hinted towards three major things that you got to when you think about making another tournament series. One is how is it going to get paid for, and how are you
Yeah,
going to draw people? You have to have if you're going to do a AAA series, that obviously needs to be a higher payout. And what do the entry fees look like to fund that? Does it need a sponsor to make those payouts real? And then the other side is, will people sign up, you know,
yeah,
for that? What's the reason? I think if you took the co-angler element out of it and made it more like a solo field,
yeah,
I think that changes things for a lot of those guys. And I think that would be a big enough draw in some cases, not only the money. And then, the other thing is you weed out the guys that are really serious about making the elite series. um, why not make that? And this might be an unpopular, outlook on it for my side, but um, the guys that are serious that are willing to fish 9 tournaments or able to fish 9 tournaments,
yeah,
um, is there a league where that's the majority of your elite series berths come from a league like that?
yeah,
And a couple go to the open side and make the opens more about the classic berth than the elite series berth.
yeah. I would so just off the top of my head, you know, I know a big discussion has been putting a triple A in between the Elite Series and the Opens. But I think, honestly, I think you could, people are trying to get into the Opens so much. You could almost put one underneath the Opens and have the Opens be your triple A, you know, and make it where, you know, 15 of these people out of each division qualify for the Opens, you know? I mean, or something like that. Have opens qualifiers. You know, go the other way with it. You know, instead of going between the opens and the elites.
Right, right. Yeah, it's I know it's a highly controversial subject at some points because you get, some elite guys that were going to literally have their reason to make the classic, have one more shot at the
Yeah,
classic. And then it's one of those deals where somebody's going to be mad about it. But at the same time, you get the opens that should be an open series for the working class guy or
Yeah.
whatnot. Is kind of my thoughts. But yeah, it's sorry, I had somebody spamming our comments here.
No, you're good.
Um, but yeah, we're at a point where I think the Bassmaster side of things is growing so fast that they're going to have to find a way to make everybody kind of happy.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out. I think they're prepping for it. I think they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's gonna turn out to be one of those deals where they're just gonna have to test market it, like they did with the opens. Even they switched it to four instead of or two divisions instead of three for a couple
Yeah.
years, which I didn't really mind myself. But
Hell,
I
they keep on changing it about every 2 or 3 years. I don't think they know what they want to do sometimes. Probably get in trouble for saying that, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. They
yeah,
change it every 3 or 4 years.
yeah, it's sometimes it's some things I guess it's kind of throw it up on the wall and see what sticks, and
Yeah.
you know hopefully something good comes out of it. But we got a couple people that just logged in here. Hunter Bland is on Instagram, and we got the Rodfather that's posting up Rodfather on TikTok there. He does some live fishing shows on there. He's pretty fun to watch.
Nice. Nice.
Um, and so, would you say? I think I just saw a comment on here. Um, Michael, we'll get back to that here in a second. He was asking for some St. Lawrence tips. Um, the the so the was your second classic, um, would you say how does that compare to your first appearance at the classic, I guess?
Um, Honestly, I thought I was going to win the first classic I ever fished. I was catching them. I was catching them really good, and dude, I really, really thought I was going to had the potential to win that one. Probably went in there a little too arrogant, a little too cocky, um, and I made too big of a deal out of the first one. Like, you can't. The classic is the biggest tournament in the world, but you can't think about it like that while you're fishing. Like, you have to fish it just like you're fishing a 50 boat club tournament on your home lake. And that's part of the reason I wore the cutoff shirt. I was like, hell, I'm just going to go fishing like I would back home. And, wore the cutoff jersey. And I went out there and fished like I didn't give a shit, to be honest with you. As crazy as it sounds.
Did that did that end up do you think did that distract from you at this classic appearance, or do you think that was just all part of it as far as, the relaxation and feeling comfortable about all that, or was it something that you think was more of a uh, you know, kind of like I'm here again, by the way, kind of, approach?
Um, no, I think I learned a lesson from the first one. Like I said, you like as bad as I hate to say it, you can't take the classic too serious, because if you do, you're going to lose your ass every time. And I just kind of went out there and winged it, said, what the hell ever. Um, didn't even fish it like I was fishing a classic. I just went fishing. And I think it's, honestly, I think that's the key to fucking doing good all the time. It's just saying the hell with it. Not even act like it's a tournament. Just go fishing.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the high end tournaments. Sometimes we put it up on a pedestal a little much, and we
Yeah,
over practice, and you go shopping, go crazy like the weeks before, trying to
yeah,
you know for whatever reason, you're overthinking it and going crazy. And in reality, if you treat it like you're just going to work every day, in a way, it settles you down and
yeah,
gets you in your comforts.
yeah.
But
You can't glorify it at all.
so, are you looking now that you're qualified for Hartwell this year? If you had a choice between, last year's classic destination and this year's classic destination, which would you say was your favorite?
Um, I'll tell you after the classic, but you know, but I was really looking forward to I was really looking forward to Ray Robertson in the summertime. Like it's one of the only summertime classics I can remember, and I like fishing in that hot weather. I like it 100 degrees, 110. I go out there and I literally enjoy the heat. Um, and I don't think that's something you're going to see very often in the classics.
Right.
Uh, so I would have probably took Texas for just that deal, but I've spent a lot of time on Hartwell over the years, half a dozen tournaments, and Hartwell's treated me well, and I got a special feeling about this one. So we're gonna see how this one shakes out. I got a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're gonna be there, walking around whatnot at the expo, and so I'll be up there for that, and then we'll be up there again in October for the Open.
Yep.
And so this year you said you're going to be fishing the Southerns,
Yeah, I'll be
Southern
fishing the
Division?
Southern, so I'll be up there in October too. And yeah, I like Hartwell in October. Been there a couple times, September, October time frame. It won't fish nothing like the classic, but nonetheless looking really forward to it.
Yeah, back to back Cherokee win coming, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Possibly.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. And then so this year, what would you say you learned the most about whether let's say what would you say you learned the most about the business of fishing? Because a lot of people, I think coming from the open side of things, you see a lot of people think that as soon as they make the elite series, it's like they won the lottery, which they did. But the business side, I think a lot of people it hits them head first right off the bat, and it turns into a
Yeah,
sink or swim.
yeah, I think a lot of people have the misconception that whenever you qualify for the Elite Series, all of a sudden you got a crap load of sponsors and and you're gonna have all this cash flow to be able to fish the Elite Series, and that is not the case. Like I think the first year I was very, you know, I was just honestly I was thankful to obtain the sponsorships that I obtained and for them giving me a chance, because it was all real short notice last year. And, you know, you better have your ducks in a row. If you're trying to qualify, you better have them in a row to have the money to fish because, buddy, um, it will kick you right in the face. I'm telling you. That's the biggest thing. I've had a good fall, made some good relationships, but Uh, yeah, you better be ready not only to qualify for the elites, but be able to, let's just say, afford it because I'm gonna tell you right now, it take you 70 grand to fish the elite series, and 100%, you got 45,000 in entry fees, and it's gonna take you another 20 to 25,000 in expenses. So unless you got 70 grand sitting in your back pocket, you better get to work.
And if you don't have those relationships set up, any winnings you got from the opens or
Yep.
the qualification side of things, you should probably put that in the piggy bank until you can afford it, just as a backup plan, even if that's really what you want to do.
Yep.
It's great sounding when you're fishing on somebody else's money, but if you really want to make a dream happen, you gotta, grind it out and figure out how to get out there. Because there's
Yeah.
been a couple guys that went in not knowing how they were going to pay for what was it? I think Jesse Wiggins was one of them. He said that when he got in, he had to win his first. He said he had to cut a check in his first three in order to pay for the rest of the season. I think that
Dude,
was
I could understand that. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think it just kind of worked out well all summer and that whole year before I qualified for the Elite Series and even after I qualified. Dude, I was working 14, 16-hour days. And whenever I wasn't, at an open. And dude, if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to fish. And that's all there is to it. Like,
yeah.
without doing that, and and sponsors, I wouldn't have been able to fish. I mean, like you better get ready to work your ass off because you're not going to have a crap load of sponsors, stepping up to hand out a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a relationship game.
Yep,
You know, every person you meet in life turns into a potential relationship that can help you along the way.
that's
And
right.
and if if they can't, maybe they know somebody that can, but you have to have that relationship in place.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button there. Meant to hit the mute. Sorry to cough everybody's face here. Um, we're so with the upcoming year, would you say that learning from that last year, do you have any new relationships going forward this year so far?
Yeah, I got a few of them. Working with some. Somehow, I really got into the hunting side of things. Um, with Drake Performance Fishing and also Drake Waterfowl. A lot of them, a lot of people use uh, Drake equipment, Boss shot shells, Mossberg firearms. Man, super pumped. Actually, um, I don't know. I've stayed in one before. I don't know if you've ever heard of one. It's called a yurt. It's kind of like a circular, uh, small house like, and worked out little something with the yurt company, and I'm really excited about that actually. So as crazy as that sounds, they're pretty big up north, around the Michigan area and whatnot. But yeah, Scum Frog. I'm what created a good relationship with the people over there at American Bait Works and Scum Frog, and going to be working on some frogs and whatnot. And yeah, man, it's been a pretty good fall.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
And Kevin, the bait man, back, and he said he's here to support his buddy Matt. He talks great about your shop. I think you guys were just hanging out not too long ago.
yep, yep. I've been friends with Kevin since I was probably 16, and we was both right around that age, 15, 16 years old apiece. And yeah, I like Kevin a lot, man. He's a good dude. He does a little bit of filming for me here and there. Uh, does a real good job with it.
Yeah, the content this year was interesting. The adventures uh, of you guys, you and Fighter, and
Yeah.
that was a good start to the year, and then uh, and then Kevin says that we'll get after it. Um, but
Well,
so this coming year, what do we expect for content from you as far as that kind of stuff? Are you working on anything that you can talk about, or?
um, let me think here. So I don't know what I'm supposed to say or what I'm not supposed to say, but I have been filming some stuff with the Ugly Stick that has almost absolutely nothing to do. They're really testing my abilities here. Um,
And you don't have to
doing
say if you want. We could leave everybody in suspense if need be.
doing a little bit of let's just call it acting. Um, and yeah, I don't know what all I'm supposed to. It'll be out pretty soon. They're going to start releasing stuff. We just got done filming the stuff, and I think they're going to start releasing stuff in February, March time frame. So um, I told them they got their work cut out for them with the editors. They better be good. So, um, but me and the boys are going. Me, Seth, Chris, and Corey and Gussie are going to have a camera guy with us the whole year, and it's going to be. I don't know when it's coming out. It'll probably be after season, but it's going to be a behind the scenes thing. It's going to be minimal fishing. And yeah, we're going to carry a camera guy and maybe see what he can come up with.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people wonder what it's like on the backside, and if it really is as crazy as they imagine, or if it's going to be, uh, but I think what everybody really wants to see too is a lot of the hard work that goes into it,
Yeah.
and it's not just given to everybody.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, once people see it, they're probably gonna wonder how any of us catch a damn fish because it's a shit show. I'm telling you, 100%.
Uh, but the so when it comes down to your favorite products this year, what would you say was your favorite product to throw this year,
Um, honestly,
or
probably
your
that
or your
Frit
go-to?
yeah, probably that little Fritz side, you know? It played up there on, Fort Loudon big time, and, probably the honestly, probably a stunner more than that because I caught him at Fort Loudon on the stunner and the Fritz side. And then, dude, whenever I went to Lake Fork, I was jerk baiting the ends of points, and and man, I was throwing that stunner and I lost one, and I was asking Gussie if he had any jerk baits that looked like it. It's kind of like a chartreuse shad color, like a translucent color. I can't remember the name of it. But I was over there asking Gussie, looking through boxes of jerk baits, trying to find something like it. And Hank Cherry's in the boat, 2 boats down. He's like, "What are you looking for, Matt?" I was like, "Dude, one of them new Berkeley jerk baits. You got one of them?" He's like, "It's like, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you're sponsored by Berkeley, ain't you, Hank?" He's like, "It's my jerk bait, dude." I'm like, "Oh shit, my bad, my bad." Like I felt like an asshole, but he gave me a jerk bait and it was the right one. Got me by, man. I relied on that thing a lot this year. I was ripping the heck out of it, ripping it hard on them points.
Yeah, and we'll have a bunch of those in here shortly. I've been told that we'll have some coming just after the first of the year.
Yep.
We should be fully stocked on those. And then we've we've done really well with a lot of the different products this year. Flatworms are an easy
Yeah.
sell as always. If you have them, people buy them.
Yeah.
But
You go up north, you got to have them.
so Byron from Missile Baits is asking what your favorite glide bait is, because he's absolutely obsessed with swim baits these days.
So, I mean, if you're talking about just a fish catcher,
Well,
uh,
he's into the high end stuff.
okay. Well, I
Right.
got to tell you, I think the S waiver will compete fish catching compete with the high end stuff. I got a tater hog about 2.5, 3 months ago, and I've caught half a dozen on it. The only thing is you can't really get it down deep. The only way I figured out to get it down 6 or 8 foot is if I like twitch it real easy like a jerk bait and it'll kind of dive like a jerk bait to get it down. Um, but dude, I've thrown the depths 250s, the 175s. Uh, I've thrown a lot of them, and honestly, whenever it comes to just pure out catching fish, I catch them on that S fiber just as good as anything.
Yeah, it's we sell quite a few S waivers, and they move every time they're on the shelf.
Yeah.
He was saying boo to a lot of the other stuff, and then he as soon as you said the depths and whatnot, he was on board.
Listen, man, I like the depths, but I mean the others catch fish. They're not the good. There's a difference between what looks good in the water. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that the other ones, like people talk about that big wide glide and
Mm.
everything. Like, yeah, those glides look good and the fish follow them, but I'm not worried about what the bait looks like in the water as much as I do. I want to fish to bite it before I see the fish following it, and that's what I get out of the other ones.
Right, right,
So that's what I get out of the S waivers: more bites before I see the fish following it.
right. Yeah, we we've been carrying a lot more glides now down here, and it's kind of like step up system. So you start out with something in that, $20 range, and then you
Yep.
start adding 50s and hundreds and 150s, 200s, and it's like a graduated process. So
Yep.
it's it's a small addiction compared to everything else that's on the board,
Yeah.
but it can get expensive really quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when this season kicks off, what do you say is your favorite place on this year's schedule?
Um, Probably Pickwick. Like it's about 2 hours from me. We're gonna be there in June, so it should be a good offshore bite. So, I just almost got to go with Pickwick. Um, Unless it rains and comes up 7 feet again, which would surprise me because I'm going to a Tennessee River Lake that I want to go to.
Yeah.
Um, or Chickamauga. We're going Chickamauga a little early. It'll be a good pre-spawn bite. So looking forward to that one too.
We just had a comment from Les Forrest. He's a very good customer. I see that name come across quite a bit. He said that you're one of the people that pointed him our way, and he
Awesome.
says thanks for great customer service. 44.
That's awesome. Appreciate
He,
it, Les.
he sent us a personal message when we first had you come on board, and
Cool.
he's been a loyal customer ever since. So shout out to Les for that. Thanks a lot, Les. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, by the way. John McKish Outdoors asked, "What's your thoughts on Oahu?" Hey, we kind of covered that a little bit earlier, but I don't know if you want to revert to
Oh yeah, we can go back over. It's going to
the
be
state.
if it was like whenever I was there, it's going to be it's going to be a slugfest, smallmouth slugfest, and I got to tell you, like the only issues I see are anglers being on top of each other on spots. That's the only issue I see there.
The so which would you prefer to catch? Would you rather catch smallmouth, spots, or largemouth if you had a choice?
I'd probably have to go with largemouth. Like I think the boys make fun of me because I didn't think I'd be able to catch a smallmouth, and but I can actually catch a few of them things. But I'd have to go with the largemouth.
Yeah, it was it was funny. I mean, we were watching this year on the St. Lawrence with you guys this year, and they had Corey on a live camera and you on a live camera, and he had just boated like 3 fish over 4 pounds
Yep.
not far from you. You on the camera, you go, "Is there any fish here? We gotta go to the lake." And he's like, "Yeah, they're all right." And you pull off and go wherever, and it's like, "Oh man, he's catching the bigger ones not far from you on the other side of the island there."
Yep.
But
Yep.
it was kind of funny to watch there.
Oh yeah. But,
But that's the stuff that you don't realize goes on until, you can watch it side by
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
But
No, I knew Corey was gonna. I knew me and Corey both was gonna fish there, and um, out of I asked him. We talked about it, and I told him I'd give him a little time on it before I went there, and yeah, I knew he was going to catch some good ones before I got there. But I had a couple other places to stop on, so it was all good. It worked out. Like I had a real crappy first day, but I went out there and caught, almost 20 pounds the second day. So really saved my butt on that one.
yeah, that place is unbelievable how many big fish there are in that place. And even after getting, we went up there and everybody said, "Oh, these tournaments are beating this place down and whatever." But it still took so much weight,
Yeah,
you know. The standings were ridiculous when you're out there, and it's you got 16 pounds in like almost 100th place.
yeah. It's
It's
crazy,
crazy,
dude. It's
crazy.
crazy.
But Matt G wants to know, what is your favorite Florida lake?
Um, Probably. I don't know. I've won on Okeechobee and I've won on the Harris chain, but Um, Man, it's so toss up. I guess I'd have to go with the Harris chain.
The Harris chain is one of my favorites.
Yep.
Matt G, I think that's probably one of his favorites too. He fishes there quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd have to say the Harris chain. I like fishing offshore hydrilla and whatnot. So
The
hopefully them fish ain't up spawning whenever we're there. But
Actually, I
I'll
think
be.
one of the guys in our local club here in Citrus County, he was your co-angler at Okeechobee
Oh yeah,
for Bass Nation. He was one of your co-anglers. He normally
nice.
fishes as a boater, is Dan Kerrigan. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Is he a little older guy?
no, he's younger. He's
Is he younger?
yeah, late 20s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he would have been on your boat. You'd probably know him if you saw him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so getting towards the tail end of the hour here, if anybody's got any more questions for Matt, we've been talking about it the last couple of days for Christmas that we're doing a giveaway in partnership with Berkeley on that, and we've got a lot of response. Matt and I were talking about earlier. We had a really good response to that, and I think it's pretty exciting. Let's see what we've got in this package here. I've got it right next to me. We're going to do 3 separate winners for it. So it's going to be, we've got lots of these Berkeley items here. And then, we got war pigs, cutters, things like that going into that prize package. And then Matt's going to sign. Now, the hats in the picture may not be the exact colors that come out to you. Matt's going to sign 2 hats, a 44 tackle hat and an Onum hat
Yep.
for 2 other lucky winners as well. So
Same
we're,
color of the Onum hat.
yep, yep. So we'll get that all figured out, and we'll go ahead and get that drawn, and then we'll wrap up with some final questions for you right before we get off of here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I got my bucket. We printed everybody's name. I had one of the guys print out everybody's name here in the bucket, and we're gonna go ahead and draw. So the first person for the Berkeley Power Bait package is going to be Norman Renaud. I'm going to cover up his email address here. So let's see, everybody can see here potentially.
A little blurry.
A little blurry. But it's going to be Norman Renaud. We'll email you with the details, Norman. So you're going to be the winner of the Berkeley package.
Congratulations, Norman.
And then the person for the Onum hat, signed by Matt, is going to be Steve Getz. Probably not gonna be able to read any of that, but there we kind of came through. He's gonna get the Onum hat,
Nice. Congratulations, Steve, buddy.
and then third with a signed 44 tackle hat is gonna be, actually he's a local here. It's Braxton Likens
Nice.
name, so he's a local in-store customer.
Nice.
So Braxton,
Congratulations, buddy.
we don't have that hat in store yet, but Matt will be sending it to us, and we'll make sure to get that to you for that signed 44 tackle hat, which works out even better because he is a local. So
Yeah, awesome.
that's a good deal. But we want to thank everybody for taking part in this. And Braxton's actually on here. He said thank you guys. Kenneth Clamer
Yeah.
says congrats to all the winners. Same with Les Forrest. Um, we want to thank everybody for supporting 44 Tackle. It's been quite the journey. We're only in business 6 years and we're trying to grow as fast as we can, but it's we can only we got to walk before we can run, I suppose you'd say. But we always want to run everywhere we're going.
That's exactly.
But we've got some great people on board. We've got some new additions this year also. I believe we'll be renewing with Matt this year. We've towards the end of that here shortly. But we'll see Matt next year on the Elite Series running the 44 tackle stuff again. And then we'll have some new additions. We got Jacob Fouts that just made the elites this year, so he'll be joining you. And then we've got a couple that we're going to announce this week. We have not quite announced yet, but ones that have already announced will be Brianna Tucker. She's an opens girl. She runs
Nice.
on the pro side on the opens. I believe she's fishing 2 divisions of the opens this year as a boater. She fished one as a boater last year. She's awesome. Anybody who hasn't followed her, go ahead and check it out. It's Brianna Tucker Fishing, um, as well as some of the other guys that we've got on board for the last year on the Open Series. Our local guys. We got Dave Turner, Colby Robertson, Parker Mott, Johnny Bigger, myself. So we've got a pretty good follow. Daniel Rogers. I know I'm going to forget a bunch of people, but if you go to our website, you'll get a list of all of the guys that run the 44 tackle wraps, stickers, and whatnot. But we've got a great group of guys on our team, and we're always expanding. So you never know. But and then Matt this year, can't wait to see you guys at the classic again and on live and everything.
Absolutely.
And I think I might even jump in as a marshal for a couple of those Florida events, if I can fit it in there between the opens. I think that'd be cool if I got to jump in with one of the guys with us. But
Yeah, you'd enjoy it.
yeah, yeah. And then but if anybody has any other questions for Matt here, we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap up here. But I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and let's see. And Steven, I'll go ahead and message you later on about that. That'll work. But we'll be able to um, look a little further to the year, and hopefully while you're in Florida, we'll get a little meet and greet going on, and let everybody know. We're gonna have a bunch of guys in town that we'll get together and have some fun here at
Awesome.
the shop. So talk
Awesome.
fishing and whatnot. So get to meet all the people that get to send you messages all the time.
Yeah, that'll work.
Um,
That'll work. I think I
so,
got those dates pegged down too. I'll get them. I'll get them for you tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, and as always, make sure to follow 44 Tackle for the most recent stuff. We're getting back into the swing of doing the lives every week, and we're getting ready to, we'll be doing weekly lives, as well as we'll be bringing back the People of Fishing podcast. That's pretty exciting. Last one we just did was Miles Berghoff, which he had a really cool story. So check that out on my YouTube channel, Chris Kingery Fishing. And then we'll get Matt on here soon, and get the story of how Matt became Matt. Um, you know, he's one of a kind, and that's why we've got him on board. So, but if you didn't have anything else, Matt,
Yeah, I'm good. Merry Christmas, everybody, and enjoy it. Enjoy the family, and Happy New Year also. If I don't see you or talk to you.
awesome. Well, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and sign off, but we appreciate everybody coming in and watching tonight. We know you got a lot of other things to do with Christmas time coming around, so we really appreciate you coming and hanging out. Everybody who has won something, we will get with you via email, and we'll make sure you get taken care of. But Merry Christmas and have a great New Year. Thanks, guys.